Hello, I'm Mrs. Charity. Welcome to the Glorious Heritage Overview of Catholic Church History. Discover the amazing story of the Church together as a family as you color and paste your way through the timeline and printables, which you can find on our website. And now, let's move into our topic for today.
Hello, I'm Mr. Charity, and welcome to the Glorious Heritage Catholic History video series. Today's topic is number 115, the Age of Exploration. If you look on your timeline and summary question sheets, you'll notice that we are in the green time period, which we have named Revolt. If you don't have a timeline or summary question sheets, you can find them on our website. If you have noticed, most all the stories from our videos so far have taken place in Europe, or the Holy Land. Do you remember that our very first topic was Christ founding the Catholic Church upon the Apostles, and they lived in the Holy Land? Then St. Peter, our first pope, traveled to Rome and became the first bishop of Rome. The city of Rome is in present-day Italy, which is part of the continent of Europe. In the following centuries, remember that the Franks became Catholic, and in time, so did most all of Europe. It wasn't until the 1400s, though, that Catholics started to explore and discover new parts of the world. There were some explorers in earlier times, like St. Brendan in the 500s and Leif Erikson in the 1000s, but not many of them. It was in the 1400s that the Catholic kingdoms of Europe really started to explore. This was called the Age of Exploration. What made the Age of Exploration possible was the invention of a certain style of sailing ship called a caravel. Another important invention was something called the astrolabe, which helped the sailors chart their course and not get lost. Both of these inventions came from the small kingdom of Portugal. Because of its position by the sea, the Portuguese became skilled sailors. It wouldn't be too long before the Spanish also acquired the skills necessary to sail ships over long distances. I'm sure you know of the most famous explorer of this time period. Have you ever heard of Christopher Columbus? I know you have. Christopher Columbus sailed from Spain all the way to the New World when he landed in North America. He landed on a small island and claimed it for Spain. His successful voyage across the Atlantic paved the way for many more explorers in the following centuries. We'll discuss many of them in future videos, men like Cortez, Pizarro, and others. The Age of Exploration was good in many ways, but it also brought about some problems. What was very good about the Age of Exploration is that Catholic priests were able to travel all over the world and preach the gospel to new peoples. Do you remember? We just talked about the French Jesuits who did this very same thing in New France. The Age of Exploration also brought a lot of wealth into the kingdoms of Europe, as gold and many other goods were discovered and collected. But sometimes the natives in these new lands were not always treated well by the explorers, and many of them were made into slaves. Ultimately, the Age of Exploration changed the course of history. Many of the European kingdoms established colonies around the New World. Britain established colonies in India, France established colonies in Canada, Spain established colonies in South America, and Portugal established trading outposts throughout Africa. It was a very busy time. Okay, now Mrs. Charity will tell you a rhyme that will help you remember Christopher Columbus.
Hello, I'm Mrs. Charity. Do you know what year Christopher Columbus discovered the New World? I have to admit, I wouldn't know what year either if it weren't for this easy-to-remember rhyme. Repeat after me. In 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. Isn't that easy to remember? I'll say it again. In 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. Now you will always remember what year Columbus discovered the New World.
Welcome back. Now let me tell you about another famous explorer named Ferdinand Magellan. He was the first person to ever sail the whole way around the world. A long time ago, in the year 1519, there was a brave explorer named Ferdinand Magellan. He had a big dream to sail all the way around the world. Magellan believed that if he sailed west from Spain, he could find a new way to reach the Spice Islands, which were full of valuable spices like cinnamon and cloves. Magellan gathered 5 ships and a crew of about 270 men. They set sail from Spain, full of excitement and adventure. The journey was long and tough. They faced huge waves, strong winds, and even ran out of food sometimes. But Magellan and his crew were determined. After many months, they reached the southern tip of South America. There they found a narrow passage, which Magellan named the Strait of Magellan. It was a tricky and dangerous route, but they made it through to the calm waters of the Pacific Ocean. The Pacific Ocean was vast and peaceful, but it took them many more months to cross it. They finally reached the Philippines, where Magellan made friends with the local people. Sadly, though, Magellan was killed in a battle there, but his crew continued the journey for him. Led by a man named Sebastiano Elcano, the remaining soldiers sailed across the Indian Ocean and around the southern tip of Africa. After 3 long years, in 1522, they finally returned to Spain. Only 1 ship and 18 men made it back, but they had done something incredible. They had sailed all the way around the world. His adventure inspired many other explorers and changed the way people understood the world. That's all for today. In our next video, we'll talk about the villainous Queen of England, Elizabeth I. I hope you enjoyed and learned something new today. Visit our website, www.gloriousheritagecartoons.com, where you can find more educational supplements, cartoons, books, and printables. You can also follow us on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram to get notified of our latest updates and videos. And if you like our work and want to support us, you can make a donation on our website or on Patreon. We really appreciate your generosity and kindness. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel, and see you next time.